Making you do something you don't want to do.
It's okay. It's marriage. On that note.
On that note, let's start.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle and to our latest edition of what we're now calling the Sunday Shuffle.
Sunday Shuffle!
Which is basically just the shows that we do together, that me and Jana do, and usually it's going to be similar to the format many of you are used to who watch our videos of like shuffling through a song and reacting to it. But we also kind of want to incorporate like doing some other discussion videos, doing some other topics, and just having some fun talking together.
Like today.
Like today, we have a special topic.
It's my birthday week, so month, because I celebrate the whole month. Sorry. Not sorry. And so I get to pick the topic. And so a couple months ago, everybody was doing like their favorite things, and I was like, I want to do that. So we're going to do our favorite things, and we're going to go back and forth. 10 things each, and keep it snappy, right? We don't want a super long video. It'll probably be a super long video. So, but yeah. Anything to add before we start?
Basically, I just thought this could be a good way to get to know me, get to know us better. You know, I'm always talking about music, which is my primary interest, and will be on my list also. Spoiler. But this is more a chance to talk about some of my other interests, some of our interests, just to give you an idea of who we are. Maybe it'll help you understand where we're coming from and our takes on music as well.
There's more to him than just prog.
Yeah, so. I have other interests. I thought it would be fun to share. So hopefully you guys find that interesting and, you know, hopefully you enjoy. I guess, Jana, you'll start with number 10.
With my... Oh, I'm listing them the other way. So my number one.
That's fine, too.
Well, mine are in no particular order. So I
kind of ordered them, but it's a rough order. It's not really... important.
There's no order to mine. So
it's just 10 things.
The first one is Christmas and the holidays in general. And for me, that starts on September 1st and goes all the way to January 6th. I know it's controversial. I don't care. I do what I like. And so I love the holiday season, and I love everything about it, and I decorate for fall, I decorate for Halloween, I decorate for Thanksgiving, and then I decorate for Christmas, and it's all considered the holiday season. Sometimes it's all the Christmas season, and each of those other holidays are a day within the Christmas season. I have no regrets about my celebrating, and it goes all the way to January 6th because that's my birthday.
Right.
So that's where the end is, and then it's sad.
Sad that it's all over.
Yeah.
Have to wait another
8
9
months.
8 months. Do it all over again.
That's the first thing on my list.
Okay, so my first thing, I was just going to say YouTube in general, which is kind of an obvious one since we're doing this on YouTube. But I mean, like, I love watching other videos on YouTube in a variety of different topics. Many of the type of topics that I'm going to be talking about on my list, but I spend a lot of my free time just kind of checking out
everything.
My friends on YouTube. I have a lot of friends now who do similar types of videos as me. Probably many of you watch their episodes as well. But not just music related, all types of things. And so I just, that's kind of my social media of choice. I'm trying to kind of get away from a lot of social media. I'm not really huge on a lot of those platforms, but I do like checking out interesting, unique YouTube videos on a variety of subjects. So one of my hobbies, I spend a lot of time on there, so I thought it was worth putting in my list.
I think that's great. Second thing on my list is media, like TV and movies. So I have a lot of like favorite TV shows and things that I rewatch over and over, including Ted Lasso, How I Met Your Mother, which I loved the ending to. I don't mind being controversial on that either. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Yeah. And then Friends, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Alias, Lost, another great ending to a show. No regrets about that either. Shrinking is a new one. If you haven't seen that, that's great. Parks and Rec. And then I also like any of the TLC, Food Network type of shows like Chopped and The Great British Baking Show and anything on HGTV. I will sit there and watch house makeover shows forever. So
cool.
Yeah, I didn't even go into movies. Those are all just shows, but I love a lot of movies. My favorite movie of all time is called The Happiest Millionaire. So
nice. Great stuff. I'll be talking a little bit similarly down the road, but yeah, very good one. For me, my next one is puzzles / games or game shows, just anything along those lines. For a while, we were doing like a crossword puzzle every night, and I still do crosswords like regularly. Love doing like Wordle and those types of games were always fun. But I like game shows as well. You know, my dad is a big aficionado of game shows, so I think that came from him watching Jeopardy and things like that. And I have a lot of fun with trivia and just playing games with family members, board games, and, you know, all types of things. I think it's an interest of mine. I get oddly competitive sometimes playing certain games, so I have to be careful what I play and what I don't. But most of the time, I'm pretty happy with just playing good, fun, strategic or puzzle type games that I enjoy.
Yeah, he's good at them too. He's really competitive too.
Stop.
But he's good at them.
Yeah. It might not make a lot of sense with my like kind of more mild-mannered personality, but yeah, if I get into like a competition, I get more intense than you'd expect. So.
Our first date, we went to Chili's, and then we came back to my apartment and played Scrabble, where you beat me twice, I think. We played it twice, and you beat me both times.
Maybe not the best advice for a first date to just like...
the third day, we went to his house and played pool.
Yeah.
And you beat me the first 2 games, and then you let me win the third game. So I think you're starting to learn by that point. You gotta let me win some.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, my turn again, right?
Yeah.
Books and audiobooks. That is a great interest of mine. I like to read a lot, and I like to do... I do some physical reading, but most of the books that I consume is audiobooks. I do it via audiobooks. So I read 47 books in 2024, and I'm really proud of that number. I actually tracked it last year. I read everything from romance, including like Bridgerton and Colleen Hoover books, Fourth Wing, Emily Henry books. But I also love sci-fi. Like, that's my favorite genre. So anything by Blake Crouch, like Dark Matter and Incursion and Upgrade, all of the Andy Weir books, which includes like The Martian and my favorite book from 2024, Project Hail Mary. They're making a new movie of it with Ryan Gosling. They just finished filming, and I'm really excited about that. And I also love biographies, and I love historical stories. So I'll read just about everything except for horror, because that's scary, and I'm a weenie. So
Sure.
I don't like horror. Movies or books. Yeah. I don't need that.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, my next one is writing. I love writing. You know, it was kind of one of the things I considered as a career path even back when I was in college. I've written a couple novels, not great stuff, but you know, I love writing, you know, fantasy, sci-fi type fiction is really where my heart is at. I've written some short stories. We're part of a writing group for a short period of time and wrote some kind of cool sci-fi twisty kind of, you know, short stories with that group. And yeah, it's just been a passion of mine. Even just writing anything, like I used to write progressive rock reviews, wouldn't be too shocking to this crowd. So I just love the act of writing. It's a fun outlet. I'm not a great speaker in person, which is kind of funny to say because I speak a lot on my YouTube channel, but face to face with other people, sometimes it's a little bit difficult for me because of my shyness and anxieties. But I like communicating through writing, through emails, through texting. And I think hopefully I'm fairly good at communicating in those formats. So
you're very good at it.
Yeah, just a fan of writing in general. And I wish I could get back into it. I've really gotten out of the habit because I spend so much time doing this and listening to music and other interests and family things and my work, and all that takes me away from writing. And I got a little bit insecure about it. Like, I don't think I'm a really skilled writer necessarily, especially of fiction. And our writing group kind of intimidated me because we had some pretty like ambitious writers in that group who are really good. So, but I should get back into it. But yeah, it's always been a passion of mine, something I've always wanted to pursue more, and maybe one day I will.
You have good stories. You have good ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one that we all had the same writing prompt, and he wrote this. It was like this apocalyptic thing that just ended like everybody's dead at the end. It was awesome.
Spoiler, yeah.
So, anyway, okay.
Go ahead.
Number 4 for me is literacy advocacy. So, I am a librarian, and I run an adult literacy program there. So I'm helping, I'm setting up adults who struggle with their reading, or never really learn to read. I set them up with tutors, and I manage that program there. So I believe very much that literacy is so important, and everybody needs to have it. Go to your local library. There's likely literacy programs there that can help you, that can help anybody you know. If you know somebody who's struggling with their reading, refer them to their local library. I like the idea of literacy, that you can read anything you want. So we all have the freedom to read. If we don't have, like in America, we have the what are they called, the First Amendment. You know, one of them is freedom of press. Right. And if nobody's allowed to read it, then is it really freedom of press? So it's really important that we protect our right to read. So freedom to read whatever you want, literacy advocacy, be sure you support your local library, and also be nice to your librarians. So I believe very much in literacy. We're doing the good work.
Nice.
So
that's a good one.
Plug for libraries. They're under attack right now, and all we're trying to do is just give you the books that you want.
Yeah.
Rude.
That's a good one.
Okay, your turn.
For me, I was gonna basically just the Apple products, like, iPhone, iPad, Apple TV. We have pretty much every...
You're in the cult of Apple.
Yeah, we have pretty much every device you could think of in the Apple family. And I love it. They're easy to use, but also like really good technology. And,
they all sync together.
They sync together well. I know some people are not a fan and think it's too expensive or just not for them. They like something more customizable or whatever. But I really appreciate how they run their products and how they all sync together, like you were saying, how they're all easy to use but still fun to learn new technologies, and they're always updating and doing new things. But yeah, it can be kind of an expensive hobby, unfortunately, but it's just something I have fun with, is getting the latest Apple device and kind of trying it out and seeing how it goes. But just kind of a small little thing.
Yeah, about 6 months after we got married, he got me a smartphone, an iPhone, and I've had that ever since. And so, well, not that one, I've upgraded, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have all the Apple things too, because I'm in his family. So. And
Apple Music is a big way that I'm able to do a lot of these shows, because I'm able to listen to a lot of the new music that's coming out through streaming services and things, which I know there's controversy around streaming music and stuff, but for me it's a good way to check out a good variety of music, and then what I really enjoy I end up buying, which I'll get to in the next item, buying physical products. But yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, yeah.
Okay, next item on my list is crafting. I like to make things. I'm a maker. So that includes sewing and scrapbooking and painting and anything else that you can create with your hands. I love doing that. I've been sewing since I was very, very young. I got a sewing machine for my 7th birthday from my mom. My mom's a sewer as well. And then I have taught people to sew. I taught people to sew at my church. I've taught people to sew at my work, and scrapbooking is my other big thing. I love taking pictures and photography and putting all those pictures in a scrapbook page. And I go to the scrapbook expos, and it's It's so fun, and I love creating and making things. And the room next to this office is my office, which is a craft room.
Right.
So
True.
it's full of pinks and florals and flowers and white, bookcases, and it's beautiful, and I love it. So
Nice.
crafting, love it.
That's definitely
probably
important.
one of my biggest hobbies.
Sure.
So.
And then one of my biggest hobbies is my next one. Physical media collecting, basically, is what So I collect a lot of different physical media. Behind me, you see the vinyl. So I've gotten into that over the past, 5 years, maybe. Mm-hmm. Before that, I was huge on CDs. I collected them all through, later teenage years, through college. I have a ton, hundreds of CDs here.
Yeah, we're surrounded by them right now.
Yeah. And I have gotten into I've always collected movies as well, DVD, then Blu-ray, and now I've gotten really into 4K Blu-ray, which we have a pretty sizable collection now of great 4K movies that we watch and stuff. So I'm always an advocate of physical media, of owning what you have. I know I talked just about Apple Music and streaming and stuff. But to me, if you really love something and, it's important to you, for me at least, I like to own a physical copy, have that peace of mind that I own that thing no matter what happens. If it disappears from your streaming of choice, at least I can always watch that movie on my, my home theater system or whatever. Yeah. So I just like being a collector, and I watch a lot of videos on YouTube even of people's collection updates and, here's the latest 4K movies I just got and all that kind of stuff. I'm just really fascinated about people collecting physical media, and so that's always been a huge thing for me. Mm-hmm.
Luckily, that was something I did too before we got married. So we kind of merged.
Merged our movies together.
Got rid of the duplicates. We had a lot of duplicates, which sure. I'm happy about. It means we have the same.
We have similar tastes.
Yeah, similar tastes. Okay, the sixth item on my list is traveling/vacations. I love the art of being on vacation. The act of vacation. Just not having to do what I have to do. Because as adults, we're adults. We can't always do what we want. We gotta go to work. We gotta, pay the bills. So whenever I have a vacation, I love it. It's a break from everything. And I've done a couple cross-country trips when I was younger with my family. So driving from California all the way across to Florida, we were pulling a trailer, so it took us 5 full days to get there. I've done that a couple times. I haven't done a lot of international traveling except for what we've done on cruises. So I have crossed the border into Mexico a couple times when I lived in Arizona, but otherwise we've done some cruises to Mexico, some cruises to the Caribbean. I would love to travel more internationally. But mostly I do a lot of traveling just around the American states. So seeing a lot of national parks and beautiful things. So I like relaxing. I like seeing new places. I like taking pictures of the places that I go and then scrapbooking them later. And then I love being with my husband during these trips. So it's always really relaxing for us. And my favorite thing we always do is our anniversary trip that we go to the beach over to Pismo. And so it's always really nice. I'm going to talk about the beach later.
Yeah, a lot of these are overlapping. I have some that are very similar to what you're saying as well.
Vacations. Yeah. I love it. We've been having time off right now because of the holidays, and so we've just been home. We've done staycation, and it's been so great, and I love it. Because I'm just walking around the house with no socks on. It's cool.
Sure. Yeah. My next one, which you touched upon, your love of books and reading, and that's really mine and really in the fantasy sci-fi realm. That's really where my love of reading comes from, is reading just great classic science fiction and fantasy books. One of my favorite recent authors is Brandon Sanderson, who actually had as a teacher when I was in college for a creative writing class. So, and I've been following his career, and now he's one of the biggest fantasy writers that exists right now. And I love his series, the Stormlight Archive, the Mistborn series. But a lot of different fantasy and sci-fi. I loved a lot of the things that everyone loves, Harry Potter, Hunger Games. I've read all those love Lord of the Rings even, and like Chronicles of Narnia, just all the big giant sci-fi and fantasy series that are like really important to me. And I'm trying to get into reading more. I feel like I've put it to the side as I've done a lot more with music and with YouTube. But I just recently got a new Kindle to load books onto, and I can hopefully use that as a way to read more books and to get more into it in this year. So that's one of my goals for 2025 is to read more and catch up on all these recent series that I haven't really started yet or haven't read, even though I've heard great things. But yeah, I'm really into books and reading. It's always been a hobby since I was like a young kid.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love it. Yay, reading.
Yeah, when I was a kid, The Hobbit was like my favorite book. Like from a very young age, that's like perfectly encapsulating what I love in books. So one of my favorites.
Yay. I'm a fan of literacy in any of its forms. So, okay. Next thing on my list is the house/organizing. So part of my librarian degree is about organizing and how to organize, but I take those things that I've learned and I put them into my house at home. So we just bought a new house, so we've been here 6 months, 7 months, something like that now. Brand new house, and it's basically a new canvas for us, and it's been really fun decorating. I told you I watch a lot of those HGTV shows, and I really am in love with my house, and I love being here. I love like decorating and getting ideas. It's gonna take me like years to get it to where I want it, because houses are expensive too, so I can't just go and paint the whole house because that's a lot of money. So but I love like the future planning of it, like, ooh, I'm gonna get this entertainment center in 3 years, and like I'm gonna paint this room in 4 years, and I'm gonna I love doing that. I like that it's ours. I love when I wipe down the counters and it's all clean. I do watch a lot of satisfying cleaning videos on YouTube, so I like that. So I love my house.
Nice.
And keeping it orderly.
Yeah. It's been a big thing for us this past year. Big change was moving. We really needed to move. We had kind of a less than desirable situation before that. Yeah. Just a super long commute and not our fafavorite area to live in.
Yeah, we've been renting there for years and saving money, but we finally were able to purchase. So
much happier.
I'm really proud of us. That was a big thing.
We did a good thing, I guess. Okay, my next one, which you kind of touched upon as well, but TV shows, TV watching. I'm really big, especially what I wanted to talk most about is finding like prestige TV dramas, essentially. And I love like good sitcoms as well, but when I could find like a classic good like prestige show that just everyone's buzzing about and I get into like the fandom of and get on the message boards and get excited about. Lost is the prime example, is probably my top favorite show of all time. I love Lost. I love mystery box type shows with sci-fi elements. There's like, different mysterious things happening on the island and such. I love Game of Thrones. As a big reader, I read Game of Thrones, and then I think they adapted it super well. And like Jana was saying, I'm usually pretty easygoing about how they take these shows and what direction they want, and I never complain too much about the ending is not that great or the last season didn't work. I usually am just along for the ride and just happy to enjoy those final seasons and how the writers decide to like wrap things up. Love Breaking Bad as well, just these big premiere shows, and I've been following a lot of different shows since I was young and have just had fun like following great shows and trying to find the next big thing. There's a lot of good ones out right now or coming out soon, so it's always a hobby that I'm into.
I think that's important that that we state like we're along for the ride, like however the writers want to end the show, that's great. Like we're here for it. So because
there's a lot of discourse, negativity about like the ending of shows and like we're not a fan of how this went in this direction, which is fine. People are allowed to be critical if that's their thing, but for us, we're just not really that way. We like to just enjoy it for what it is and like appreciate what they're trying to do. And
Yeah.
so some of these endings are some of my favorite. Like the Lost finale is one of my favorite episodes of television of all time. So
we are unapologetic about that. We like what we like.
Right.
Enjoying the music, the show, the
enjoying whatever we're doing.
What you like,
we're positive people. We try to be. Yeah.
Read what you want, watch what you want, listen to what you want. So.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. It's important I say all of that because the next one for me is Disney.
Yeah.
Yay! I grew up going to Disneyland. I'm a Southern California girl, so I grew up going to Disneyland, and when we did those cross-country trips, we went to Disney World. I feel the magic at both Disneyland and Disney World because that's where if you grow up going to it, that's where the magic is. So I have magic in both parks. I would love to go to some of the international Disney parks, but anyway, I love anything Disney related, Disney classics, the MCU, which I love, Star Wars, anything Pixar. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I love it.
Yeah.
I will go in my mouse ears and ride all the rides and be not an obnoxious Disney adult, but I just go and have fun.
Yeah, there's quite a negative connotation right now of Disney adults for sure.
Yeah.
So
I just go and have fun. And I'm not like, I'm having fun. That's all I want.
Yeah. And I feel like, I've
dragged you into it.
Yeah, I've gotten into because, my wife is super into it. And I had a best friend who's like really obsessed with Disney as well, even
more
before
so than me.
I met Jana. So I've always been like kind of Disney adjacent in my, experience because of who I've been around. And I do love a lot of the same things. So
you've pulled me into the cult of Apple. I've pulled you into the cult of
sure,
Disney.
Yeah.
We share our cults.
Next for me on my list, maybe one of the more embarrassing to some.
What?
I guess it's not, but
Be unapologetic.
I'm really a fan of the television show Survivor, reality TV, competition reality TV shows, and I've loved it since the first season. I think it's like just a really great premise of this like social experiment and voting people off one by one to see who wins the competition and all these different elements that they add into the mix that add a lot of different, surprises and twists and turns. I've always been a huge fan of Survivor, and I've even feel like I've upped my fandom recently, like within like our marriage or the last 10 years by following podcasts. I follow something called RHAP, which is Rob has a podcast, who was one of the contestants on Survivor, who's now started a podcast about it. And it's like kind of a big network now. And they cover a lot of reality shows. And I like a lot of other competition reality like Amazing Race and Big Brother.
I love all those.
And The Traitors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of like the more, I don't know what you'd call it, housewives type shows and like Love Island, Bachelor, that kind of stuff. I'm not
competition.
Yeah, I like more of the competition things is what I'm into, because I like, as we talked about with the games and puzzles and things, I just really like competitions, and that's kind of my sport of choice. I'm not really into sports. I don't really watch baseball, football, basketball, but my sport of choice is basically reality competitions and Survivor. And
what do they call it? Donda?
Dondi, yeah.
Dondi?
Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah.
So that's coming out soon. So. And I like that.
That's great. Love it. I watch a bunch of them too. Not as many as him, but I gotta fit my HGTV shows in there somewhere. So.
Right.
Okay, next for me is the beach. And swimming. So I feel calm when at the ocean. I went to school in my undergrad in Hawaii, in a little tiny college on the North Shore, and I love being at the beach. I love feeling the sun on myself. I love being in the water. I love swimming. I love pools, swimming pools in general. I grew up with pools. My parents told me I taught myself to swim when I was 3. So I've been swimming ever since. My family has always had a pool. We live in Southern California, so we've always had an outdoor pool. And our new house does not have a pool, a private pool, but we have a pool in our complex, so I'm really excited about that. I was on the swim team in high school. I just love being in water. I love it. Awesome. I make you go swimming with me sometimes. You don't love it as much.
No, I loved it more when I was younger, but I've kind of grown out of it as an adult, and maybe
I have
more
not.
so. But I mean, I'll get in the pool when Jana does.
When I make him.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love swimming.
Yeah.
It's so fun, and I love being at the beach. Yay!
Very
beach.
Cool. The beach. All right, so mine are in rough order. So this is like my second favorite of my list here. Is the obvious one: music, progressive rock. It's always been a major passion of mine. I've talked on the channel a ton about this and about how I was into music as a teenager, like getting into more modern rock, alternative rock, maybe even a little dabbling of classic rock. But it's really when my dad showed me progressive rock that my love for music just exploded into the stratosphere. I fell in love with his favorite bands, which were Gentle Giant, Yes, and Genesis. Went off in search of what bands were current that were doing the same kind of music, and came across, Neil Morse and Transatlantic, Spock Dream Theater, and those became like my bands, and I've followed them ever since. This was like early 2000s where I was really like exploring this stuff, and it's become an obsession now. That's probably my top hobby, that I am constantly checking out new albums, new bands.
Always.
That's why I started the channel, to recommend these bands to people that aren't necessarily exposed to them, and to like let people know that progressive rock is still alive and well, and to take this obsession of mine and channel it in a productive way to kind of help people find music that they could love and appreciate the way I do. So
I think the channel's been really good for you.
Yeah.
I feel like because he's tried sharing prog with me through our marriage, but it never really it's fine, but you needed prog friends, and you needed to be able to like have an outlet and talk about it, and because you love it so much, music is your biggest hobby. So
yeah.
So hi to your prog family.
Yeah, if they're watching, thank you guys.
He needs you.
Yeah, I need friends that are talking about this like I am. It's hard to find in the
not cool enough.
real world, so I had to branch out online to find it. But
Yeah.
I think I found my crew, so I'm happy about that.
Me too. Okay, and then the last one for me is family. So spending time with my family. I will often, my parents live in a different state, they're a 12-hour drive from me, and so meeting my family, like my parents and me will meet in Vegas. We'll like both drive to Vegas and meet there. And I love doing that. Like I sit and sew with my mom and shop with my parents. And we live only like 2 miles away from his parents. Yeah. So I love spending time with my in-laws and all of we've been married like 13 years, 12 years.
12 years, yeah.
12 years. It's not new. But we've been, it's my new family. So I love spending time with him. I hit the jackpot, not only with him, but with great in-laws. So I'm really lucky. I love spending time with them. All of our nieces and nephews, we counted them up. We have 10 nieces and nephews. Yeah. And most importantly, I love spending time with this guy. I love filming with him and doing all of our goofy little videos, such as this one. I love going on vacation with him. I love, being home with him. Like I said, we've had vacation like the past, week staycation where we've just been home and hanging out and just, I love day dates where we go on a date during the day and we go to lunch and a movie, and I love snuggling together. He told me not to do anything embarrassing, so I'm unapologetic about the things that I love. So, and I will remain that way. Yeah. I'm unapologetic about how much I like you.
Oh, that's
I
lovely.
like him. He's so cute.
Stop. Okay.
Sorry, that was too embarrassing. Okay, go. Not for me. I'm unapologetic. Your last one.
Yeah, my number one is basically the same thing. Is spending, and specifically spending time with
I rank higher than the music.
my wife. Yeah, like when I have free time, that's really my primary thing. Is because we both work full time, so when we have time off together, that's my priority, is spending time with my wife, and it's just always my favorite thing to do, even if it's just us sitting on the couch talking about life and things that we're excited about and involved with in our separate lives at work and personally. I just love that experience. And like you said, going on vacations, going on our dates, our weekly dates, essentially, when we were able to, and watching our shows together, sharing in our interests, the things we've talked about on these lists with each other is always just one of the highlights. And doing these shows together. If I'm being a little honest here, I've been kind of concerned about doing these episodes, especially the shuffling, the music, what we've called Prog Song Sunday. I feel like they're not getting as much attention and views, and I'm like, is it even worth doing anymore? Am I torturing my wife by making her continually listen to this music that's not really her favorite? But what brings me back to it is like, well, but we enjoy spending this time together, doing these episodes, and we have fun talking and being able to share this with between each other and with the community at large that I've come to really love and appreciate also. So even if it doesn't like take the YouTube world by storm, it's still worth it just because we love taking the time to do it together. It's another way we get to share an experience and be together and spend time. So we'll keep doing it. And we're excited for the year ahead and what these shows will be. And like I said, we're probably going to do more of these kind of discussion-y type videos because that seems fun to us to cover different topics and be able to talk together like this. So that's us.
That's us. Did we hit our 20-minute? Oh, we don't.
Yeah, we're almost 40. I knew this was going to end up being long. How could it not be? When we're talking about our favorite items.
Yeah.
But
I have no regrets. I'm unapologetic about the things that I like.
So if you've stuck it out this far, impressive. For you.
Yay.
But thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of our channel and what we've done here, and hopefully you appreciated this video and a look into our lives and who we are as people. Maybe that helps you understand where we're coming from when we do our fun little episodes here. And let us know in the comments your favorite items and what your list would be if you were doing your top 10 or 5 or whatever you're comfortable with. We'd love to.
We want to get to know our friends.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll catch you in a future episode, hopefully.
Bye. Enjoy the music.
Bye.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah, enjoy any of your favorite items. Just whatever you love doing.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.